Welcome to ACST Technology's Enabling the Changing Catholic Church podcast.
Hello, I'm Terry Poplava, your host for Enabling the Changing Catholic Church. I'm excited today to be speaking with Scott Richert, who is publisher for OSV and is deeply involved in both the process of the Eucharistic Revival and the planning for the Eucharistic Congress. Wanted to explore a little bit more about really what is it all about, because many of us have heard some things, but may not fully understand the intent, the activity that's underway, and the energy that we should expect to find in this process of the revival and the upcoming Congress this year. Looking forward to all of that. Welcome, Scott. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Terry. It's great to be here.
Let's just start with the overall concept of what the bishops were considering, some of the reasons why, and perhaps the process that has been underway for the last couple of years, as I understand it.
Yes. So, the Eucharistic Revival, the concept for it began with the Pew Research study that showed that a large portion of Catholics in the United States did not understand what the Church teaches about the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. There are a lot of Catholics who are sort of unclear on the concept, and if they're unclear on the concept, that signals an underlying reality that they are also not fully experiencing what the Eucharist is supposed to be and the power of the Eucharist in their life. And so the U.S. bishops decided that they would turn this rather scary information into an opportunity to revivify the Church in the United States through a Eucharistic revival. And all of that began in 2021, and at that point, they assembled a executive team for the Eucharistic Revival, and I've had the pleasure of serving on that for the last 3 years, and of course this summer in Indianapolis we'll have what many have regarded as the capstone event of the Eucharistic Revival, which is the National Eucharistic Congress, the first one in 83 years in the United States. The hope is that this will continue on, and that those who go to Indianapolis will go back to their parishes, back to their dioceses, and help lead the revival over the coming years.
So it's actually a very exciting and significant time for us. And I want to unpack a little bit of that, Scott. I also want to refer to some work that ACST Technologies has done through the American Beliefs Research Study. And I only bring it up because it supports and reflects exactly what the Pew study and other additional CARA research said, that we're losing people. In the American beliefs, it's cross-Christian, but when you look specifically at Catholic, it's absolutely Catholic, and we do not align with our core beliefs. And depending on generationally, what you see is this declining attachment to church, or even grasp of what it means, or why it's relevant. So important to us right now. One question I ask, I think you got to it, but I just wanted to dwell on this, because the research was on pretty much active Catholics, right? So a lot of attention has been paid to those of us in church, and actually the alarming part of it, I think, was those of us in church aren't necessarily really fully aligned with the beliefs of the Catholic Church, which is kind of astounding. So there's been a lot of attention to trying to, and in this revival, restore the people in the pews grasp of and love for the Eucharist and understanding of it, correct? So it started with some announcements from bishops, but there's been other work at the parish level that we should be paying attention to, or we should be hearing.
Right.
Remind us what that is in case some people are missing it when they're at Mass.
Right. So again, looking at it as a member of the executive team, that first year in 2021, we called year zero because technically the revival began with the Feast of Corpus Christi in 2022. And that first year was supposed to be the diocesan year of the revival. And in the diocesan year, then dioceses were supposed to set up point people and to create diocesan-wide activities like the Eucharistic procession that we had here in the Diocese of Fort Wayne, South Bend, which was extremely well attended up in Warsaw. And other activities like that, and opportunities for people to enter more fully into the mystery of the Eucharist, because part of what we need to understand about why people don't understand what the Church teaches about the Eucharist is that Church teaching flows from the experience. All doctrine, all dogma actually is a distillation of an experience that people have had. And it doesn't, we often think of it the other way around. We think that if we just tell people this is what you are supposed to believe, then we've done our job.
But well, that's kind of where we were for decades, right?
Exactly. But really what the Church is supposed to do, what real catechesis is the handing down of the experience. And then once you have had that experience, yes, then you need to be able to understand the experience that you've had. You need to be able to put that in intellectual terms so that you can deepen your understanding of it. But the intellectual doctrine does not substitute for the experience. You need both. And so moving from the diocesan year into the parish year, the focus then was more on how do we create that experience? How do we encourage parishes to do things like 40 hours devotion or to have Eucharistic processions at the Feast of Corpus Christi and at other appropriate times throughout the year? How do we get parishes, if they have the ability, to set up a perpetual adoration chapel, to give people the opportunity to come in and experience time with Christ, and to, through that experience, begin this process of revival in their own souls, and then that extends out to the parish, to the diocese, to the national level.
Some of what I love about this, certainly I've experienced some of it personally in the processions, but it's visible, it's active, and we're back to signs and symbols of our faith beyond Mass.
Yes.
Other things that can be done that allow people to participate and hear the sounds, see the signs, see the people in action. It is very compelling to either both see and or be part of a procession. Whether it's for St. Joseph or for a Eucharistic procession, they all carry with they're different levels of intensity, but carry with it this sense of honor and purpose, and help to remind us, exactly as you're saying, of the experience.
Yes, absolutely. And when you're in a procession, obviously your focus is supposed to be on the Eucharist, but it is hard to ignore the fact that if the procession is of any size, you start seeing people coming out onto their porches, people who may not be Catholic, people who are wondering what's going on. Sometimes people actually come down off their porches and walk over, and they ask somebody in the procession, what's going on. It provides a great opportunity to, a moment for evangelization to help other people understand what the church teaches, and when we evangelize, to help us also to recommit ourselves to what the church teaches and to the experience that motivates it.
So now, fast forward, we're having this huge, exciting event where a lot of people can come together, hopefully for inspiration, sustenance, and the event, I think, is to inspire and to evangelize us. I have to believe most people who will be at the event will be the people who are currently in our pews, and gather, gain from that. So, and it'd be interesting for us to hear a little bit more about what we should expect at the Congress, but also then, what next? Let's talk about that.
Right. So, the Congress is going to be an incredible event, 5 days, just packed, from, early morning to late at night. Great speakers. I won't go through the whole list of speakers, but if you go to eucharisticcongress.org, you can see the list of speakers there. But again, the focus is going to be on that experience and on the opportunity to draw deeper into the Eucharistic mystery, and that opportunity now is going to be opened up to a lot more people than it looked like a while ago, because the Congress was originally set up with the idea that you would buy a single pass for the entire Congress. But the focus has shifted now to trying to get as many people as possible from, especially from the area around Indianapolis, to come into the Congress. So if they only have 1 or 2 days, they can come in, they can get day passes. And so this is going to multiply the number of people that will be able to attend. But then again, if we just go there and we have that experience and we keep it to ourselves, that's not going to drive the revival forward. And so the focus in Indianapolis is going to be on the creation of Eucharistic missionaries and trying to get all of those who are coming to Indianapolis, who are taking part in the Congress, to take what they have experienced there, what they experience at every Mass, what they experience at every opportunity for adoration, to take that experience and to start to introduce it to other people. How does the Eucharist change your life in a way that makes you want to bring the kerygma, the good news of Jesus Christ, to other people who either haven't heard it or have heard it and have rejected it, or have heard it and have simply let it slide away because of the daily cares of their lives? How do we get them excited to learn that Jesus Christ loves them, has a plan for their lives, and that he is waiting for them in every tabernacle of every Catholic church in this country?
That's awesome, and makes me think of a couple of things, Scott. One is, regardless of what everyone thinks of the Synod, one of even Bishop Rhodes, your bishop, and others, in returning from that, commented on how enlightening and inspiring it was to interact with so many Catholics from around the globe. And this event, this Congress, provides that kind of opportunity to interact with others, hear their views, be inspired by them, So I think that's a wonderful opportunity. And I love the idea of having opened it up to day passes so people can come get part of it if they can't commit to the entire time. And the rest of it to me has to be the most important aspect of the whole thing. If the Surgeon General is writing about the epidemic of loneliness, and Springtide Research is saying young people have fewer than, I forget the number, but very few, one or two trusted relationships, and we're immersed in our technology and we're not in touch with each other. There's such opportunity to convey the love of Christ.
Absolutely.
We just have to feel it. And I have to believe that, 100,000 people or more coming out of an event where they've had the opportunity for sort of a refreshing energy to bring that forth is going to be world changing. And maybe, in the words of Catherine of Siena, light the world on fire, which is what
I hope so. Yes.
That's fantastic. Is there anything else planned for after, or is it at this point we're going to send forth, and right. Will there be any guidance for people?
Right. So the final year of the revival, of the original phase of the revival here from 2022 to 2025, that final year now will be what we've called the year of missionary sending. And that is the focus will be on taking what they've learned and what they've experienced at the Congress, taking that back to the diocese and back to the parish, and then using that to help light a fire in the hearts of their co-parishioners, and then to take it beyond the boundaries of the parish. So one of the things that that the leadership team of the revival has wanted to do is to figure out how can we train people to have those one-on-one interactions. Up until now, it's been focused more on events at the diocese level, the parish level, and down at the national level. But how do you help those who want to be Eucharistic missionaries do what's often the hardest thing that they can possibly do, and that's talk to another person, just one-on-one, about their own experience of Christ, their own experience of the Eucharist, the reasons how Christ has changed their life. And so that is going to be a big focus in this year of missionary sending, is how do we light that fire in people so that they want to go out and are equipped and prepared to go out and to talk to the people that they meet on a regular basis. And instead of just talking about the weather or sports or whatever, to begin to open up about the love of Christ that they've experienced in their lives and the love of Christ that the person they're talking to could experience.
We just need that confidence and the resources to help us.
Yep.
But I think it's not that hard. But I know, I'm sure in your role as publisher and Our Sunday Visitor is working on resources that will help people. And ACS Technologies, while we are primarily a technology company, we're focused very much on bringing people to Christ. And ACST Catholic in particular, our resources are to help people know when to be more personal and to enable that, because this relational aspect of the church is so important. We have to know enough to be able to interact personally with people and to know when to do that. So we're working to make sure we try to provide resources to help as well in our own small way. Scott, is there anything else that you want to add about the Eucharistic Congress? Thank you, Scott.
I'm looking forward to the Congress. I'm looking forward to seeing you there, Terry. and seeing many thousands of Catholics coming together for this unique opportunity to worship our Lord and to be lit on fire so that they can return to their own parishes and really bring this revival to fruition.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much, Scott. Blessings.
Thank you, Terry.
Join us next time on Enabling the Changing Catholic Church.